Hello again, curious acolytes of the Force, and welcome back to the archives. You are just in time, as our researchers have just made an amazing discovery. While searching the ruins of the Jedi Temple, we found an intact training program for Jedi Padawans, a program that details a Dark Lord of the Sith that we had previously not yet heard of. The program is called the Simulacrum, and it is basically a droid implanted with holographic projectors to allow it to take from personality and fighting style of any being coded into it. It is also equipped with gravity projectors to simulate using the Force. We happen to get it up and working again, and the program boasts a very proud history, going by the name of Darth Decilis. So, come and sit, my friends, as we debrief you on everything we learned from this ancient Dark Lord. Many details of Darth Decilis have been lost, but what we do know is quite interesting. Like many of the Sith before it, this Pau'uan man was once a Jedi Master, a master who lived sometime in the year 3500 BBY. However, this Jedi Master had a certain lust for battle that wasn't easily satiated by the repetitive training programs, and this lust for battle only grew following the defeat of the Jedi Temple Battle Master in many duels. He then went on to alternative ways in order to learn more about combat and the Force itself, as well as how to implement it in a battle. Soon, he ventured into the forbidden section of the Jedi library and learned from the Sith knowledge that was forbidden. The dark side took a hold of his desire for combat and warped this young Jedi into something terrible, leading him down an extremely dark path. The Jedi Council quickly picked up on this and promptly expelled him from the Jedi Order, something that was already extremely rare since he had already risen to the rank of Master. Enraged and humiliated by his expulsion, the man took on the moniker of Darth Decilis and vowed to get his revenge on the Jedi. Desiring to learn all he could from the darkness, he eventually found the Sith Order that was in hiding, as he climbed the ranks of the Sith Order out of sheer skill in combat, and eventually rose to the rank of Dark Lord of the Sith, one of the higher ranks in the Sith Empire hierarchy. His plan for revenge was now in motion, and he began to train an army of his own Pau'uan people on the side of a martial art that he had developed personally, a style meant to butcher and kill Jedi. This martial art consisted of using sword-on-shield approach, though it was combined with any melee weapon of their choice, and the shield was made of cortoses, believing with the application of a shield they could easily butcher any Jedi they came across. For those of you unfamiliar with the lore, cortoses is a highly energy-absorbent metal that even has the capabilities of deflecting lightsaber blades. What made cortoses different from everything else like Frick or Beskar was that it didn't just cleanly defect lightsaber blades, but it did something more. Rather, it had certain properties that would make lightsabers actually short out upon striking it, making it one of the most deadly metals in the entire galaxy to lightsaber wielders, especially the Jedi who were unprepared. In exchange for this though, it was very unstable and very brittle. If it wasn't weaved with something like Durasteel, then repeated strikes could cause it to break. However, the short circuit that the cortosis shield forced upon lightsabers lasted just long enough for the wielder of the shield to strike back at their stunned enemy. Darth Decilis himself would actually take up a cortosis shield and use it in tandem with his own lightsaber, having perfected the martial art that he created. With his new army, he laid waste to swaths of Jedi, cleanly killing thousands of them in his day using ambush-style tactics, his sole goal to rise through the ranks of the Sith and kill Jedi. However, soon he would grow exceedingly arrogant and boastful. Using his overconfidence to their advantage, the Jedi Order set up a trap of their own on the planet of Yaga Minor, leaving a small force of Jedi Knights on the planet to act as bait for the bloodthirsty Sith Lord. The haughty Darth Decilis greedily took the bait and went straight in for the kill against these young Jedi. He was completely unprepared for when the Jedi had used their own ambush tactics against the Dark Lord and came at his army with one of their own. The battle wasn't a swift victory for the Jedi at all though. The cortosis shield and martial arts of the Pau'uan army proved to hold them off for far longer than the Jedi had anticipated. But in the end, the Jedi would triumph over Decilis on this day. As for Decilis personally, however, he would fight viciously until the very end, when it required the full might of the entire Jedi Council on the planet to defeat him. Again, the combined might of the entire Council. Tragically, we don't have any details on this epic account beyond the Simulacrum and Darth Decilis boasting about this. After doing some digging though, it appears as if Decilus's reign of terror happened during the Inter-Sith Wars time period, where not a lot of major events were going on in galactic history, meaning that Decilus's bloodlust very much got the better of him when concerning the Jedi. As such though, it is difficult for us to distinguish who exactly would have been a part of the Jedi Council during this time period, and who Decimus faced in combat. Just another unfortunate shroud of mystery pertaining to the exact power of this Sith Lord. Though after having observed this simulacrum, it appears Decimus made liberal use of his cortosis shield with an aggressive block and counterattack style of swordplay, one that was extremely effective even against the Council. The cortosis shield itself is the focal point of his fighting style, and it actually happens to complement his usage of the Force quite well. In that aspect, he delegates his usage of the Force to quick bursts of telekinesis and Force lightning, while mostly channeling it inward by using Force Rage. His usual opening strategy is something like this. Once his opponent's lightsaber has been knocked out of commission, Darth Decimus harnesses Force Rage and goes in for a savage series of strikes to batter his opponent down, breaking their defenses completely. It's really no wonder that he was able to take down so many prominent Jedi by himself, and why it took the combined strength of the Jedi Council to ultimately conquer and defeat him. A Sith Lord that we know very little about, but still potentially one of the greatest fighters in the entirety of the Sith and Jedi Order. A Jedi Master fascinated with combat that was scorned, kicked out, and eventually mastered a combat style of his own designed to kill and butcher Jedi as effectively as possible. So, fellow acolytes of the Force, what did you think of this Sith Lord Darth Decimus? Do you like doing these quick Sith Lord breakdowns? And if so, who else would you like to see a video on in the future, and another holocron opening? As a reminder, there is a big sale on the Star Wars merch page thanks to the holiday season, where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, and far more up to half off. And if you use code WAVE at checkout, you'll get an additional 15% off your entire order. That's 65% off, so if you're interested, now is a great time to grab something. As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.